posted to the United Nations in Cyprus when Macarius, the Greek minister, was deposed, and the Turks were after the island, obviously, and they invaded. There's lots of fighting in Nicosia. We were living in Nicosia, just on the outskirts. Well, we were living at somewhere called Blueberry Camp. Well, I don't know whether it was named after blueberry the fruit, or whether it's because they wore blueberries. I'm not sure. pale blueberries. So he was posted out to there, and we couldn't go with him. They had to do, I think it was 4 or 6 weeks on their own before wives were allowed out. It was only a year's posting. And of course, we'd only been there about 3 or 4 months when he was deposed. All movement was stopped because we had to stay in our houses because the Turks were dropping these fuel tanks, bombs, onto the airport, and then they would, when they dropped those off, they would then fly over Nicosia and the camp, and they would let off all the strafing, the bullets were going, and 2 planes were off course, and one of them caught the playing field of the school, and another one caught the school building, and another one caught our bungalow, and it went into the roof, and it severed all the electric cables in there. So we had no fridges, no fans. Well, nothing was cold, it was, we were cut off, really. So it was a bit scary. And we put mattresses told to put mattresses in the centre of the house. Well, it was in the corridor, between the sitting rooms and the bedrooms. So we were in there, and it was away from doors and windows. And so we were in there laying on mattresses for about 3 days, I think it was, until they could get, they had to get a ceasefire from the Turks to allow them to send convoy of trucks round to pick all the wives and children up. And the RAF, they left as well. But the wives and children were left behind. So when we were in 1,000-mile. It was filmed on on television, because I said to Grandma, "You didn't see us then." And we were in the 1,000-mile convoy going from Nicosia down to the coast to Decatur, I think it was, to a base down there, and we slept on mattresses on the floor in school classrooms in the British children's schools. Yeah, a bit basic, and you had to go to the cookhouse to remember what time your meal was. It was a bit not very comfortable, and so then they decided that they would. These aircraft were spare out there, and they thought that as they'd airlifted all the holiday makers, because there were a lot of holiday makers, so they'd airlifted all those. back to England. Well, when they got rid of all those, they started taking families, you know, military families, and there was just a few seats left. Well, there was enough for the four of us, David, Richard, Caroline, and myself. And I think our next door neighbour from Nicosia, she had one little boy, and so she got on the plane as well. So I was given the choice, you know, I could stay there, and didn't know how long we would be there, or I could come back with the children. And I elected to come back with the children. And so we came back, flew back on a very cold July day, July the 28th.